Why does supporting people build loyalty more than perks ever could? You've seen it happen. A company rolls out new perks, free lunches, game rooms, maybe even Wellness Wednesdays. There's excitement at first, but 6 months later, engagement hasn't improved, turnover hasn't dropped, and morale feels flat. So, what went wrong? It's not that the perks don't matter, it's that they don't reach the heart of what makes people stay. Because real loyalty driver, it isn't a pizza party or a nap pod. It's feeling seen, supported, and safe to be human at work. If we haven't met, I'm Dr. Anna Thomas. I'm a physician, leadership speaker, caregiver advocate, and corporate wellness specialist. I help organizations strengthen their workforce and create workplaces where people and performance can thrive together. Even as we enter an era of AI, automation, and agentic teams, the future of work is still human, and that work is changing dramatically. But at the same time, employees are navigating complex personal and professional pressures that are only going to escalate in the coming years. For example, in the next 5, 10, 15 years, we will see an exponential increase in the number of older adults who will need caregiving support. Who will be providing that care? Working adults. Right now, 63 million Americans are caregivers. That's 1 in 4 adults, with more than half of them currently working full-time. Those numbers are expected to increase and will have a tremendous impact on our communities and, yes, even our workplaces. And caregiving is just one example of a personal stressor that will impact the workplace. Mental health, chronic illness, stress, and burnout are all on the rise, and the organizations that will thrive are those that lead with care, culture, awareness, resources, and empowerment. Care. Through this series, I share practical strategies, leadership tools, and insights to help you create cultures that support well-being, strengthen engagement, and retain top talent. If you'd like a clear starting point, then check out my free training, The Future of Work is Care. The link is below. And while you're there, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with another leader who is ready to build a workplace that cares. Let's get into today's topic. We'll explore why perks don't solve burnout or disengagement, what actually drives employee commitment, how care-based leadership builds trust and long-term retention. And by the end, you'll know how to replace surface-level engagement tactics with meaningful cultural investment that lasts. So let's start with the myth of the perks. Perks make headlines. They're easy to market, even easier to measure, but the truth is, people don't stay because of perks. They stay because of purpose, belonging, and psychological safety. Gallup found that employees who feel their employer genuinely cares about their well-being are less likely to actively search for a new job. And that stat doesn't come from catered lunches. It comes from culture. Perks create moments of happiness. Support creates loyalty. Let's talk about what support really means. Support isn't a once-a-month yoga class. Support means a manager who listens without judgment, a system that allows flexibility during life's challenges, a culture where taking care of yourself isn't penalized. It's the difference between saying we value our people and showing it through policies, actions, and leadership behavior. When leaders step up in moments that matter, medical crises, family emergencies, burnout, or transitions of life, that's what employees remember. They don't talk about the coffee bar when they decide to stay. They talk about how they were treated when life got hard. So let's talk about the trust equation. Let's look at the psychology behind this. When employees experience consistent support, flexible work, fair policies, empathy from their managers, they associate the organization with safety and stability. That will build emotional trust. And emotional trust is what keeps high performers engaged through tough seasons of life. Because trust says, I can give my best here without being punished for being human. When employees believe that, they invest their discretionary effort, their creativity, their loyalty, not because they're obligated, but because they care back. Let's talk about the ROI of that real support. Here's what the research shows. Employees who feel supported are 5 times more likely to recommend their workplace to others. They're 23% more engaged, and they have lower absenteeism and lower turnover rates. Replacing a single burned out employee can cost up to 2 times their annual salary. So when organizations build cultures of care, they're not being soft. They're being strategic. Support saves money, energy, and reputation. And in a world where talent is scarce and competition is global, culture is your retention advantage. So how do you build loyalty that lasts? One, make well-being a leadership metric. Don't treat it as just an HR initiative. Measure it, discuss it, reward leaders who lead healthy teams. Second, train managers to respond with empathy and with structure. They should know how to handle conversations around burnout, caregiving, or mental health, not just avoid them. Third, embed care into your systems. So make flexible scheduling, fair workloads, and proactive check-ins part of how you operate, not just one-off favors. And celebrate resilience, not overwork. Publicly recognize employees who model balance and boundaries. That shapes culture more than how bonuses ever could. Communicate the why behind support. Explain that care is a performance enabler, not a perk. When employees understand this, they stop seeing flexibility as unfair. They start seeing it as the new standard of excellence. Here's the heart of it. Loyalty is not earned through perks. It is earned through presence. When your leaders show up with empathy, with consistency, with clarity, especially when life gets hard, that's what builds trust that lasts. Because at the end of the day, people don't stay for your free pizza lunch. They stay for leaders who care. And if you're ready to shift from perks to purpose, from surface engagement to true connection, then start with my free training, The Future of Work is Care. It will give you the frameworks and examples of how to lead with care without losing accountability. The link is in the description below. And if you haven't yet, check out my book, Workplaces That Care. It's your playbook for building a culture where well-being and performance can thrive side by side. In the next video, we're going to talk about how leaders can model care without looking soft. We'll unpack how to lead with empathy, still project authority, confidence, and results. Remember, even in the age of AI, the future of work is still human. Let's create workplaces that care together.